She was hauntingly beautiful, if you didn't pay attention to the bloodshot eyes widening at my every move. A pale face with plump, pink lips and straight white teeth that looked too big and too long to fit inside her small mouth. Delicate hands that casually pawed at the screen of my window, toying with her prey, me. Closing the curtains meant getting within an inch of the open window, and I wasn't taking that chance. Calling the police meant looking for my phone that I'd lost an hour ago between cooking dinner and discovering my unwanted guest. Did I lock the doors? I couldn't recall, and thinking made me lose focus, something I couldn't afford right now. Her eyes stayed on me wherever I went, pupils dilated, and a soft scratching came from the nubs on her hand. I thought of asking, screaming at her to leave, but I was frozen. Staring back at her seemed wrong. It made me hyperventilate and sent acid to my throat, but turning away seemed deadly. She didn't seem to pose a threat, yet you could feel something radiating from her. It pulsed through my body, made me gag and writhe until I would come close to looking away. She would smile for less than a second until my eyes were locked back onto her figure. I'm not sure if the sun shining helped the situation. It didn't change the coldness that struck me the moment I saw her. It didn't change the fact that I didn't know where my damn phone was. Or that if I were to scream for help, it wouldn't arrive soon enough. A thunk came from somewhere in the far end of my house, caused me to turn around. I heard a shuffling outside, and she was no longer at my window. My pulse was throbbing, head cloudy with anxiety and fear. I darted into the living room to see her standing at the window, her smile now horrendously wide. I wasn't sure what to do. This could be part of something bigger, a ploy to keep my attention on her and away from something more sinister lurking in my home. Her eyes moved to glare at something behind me, and I almost looked. A soft growl emitted from her lips. I was trembling, close to falling and sobbing on my hardwood floors, trapped and confused. I had no out other than to stare at her until she left. Her mouth unhinged impossibly wide into a wordless screech. A ringing burst through my eardrum and blood poured down my neck. Black spots blurred my vision. Still, I kept my eyes trained onto hers. I dug my nails into my hands, feeling the crescents fill with blood. The stinging sensation temporarily brought my focus back until she closed her lips and smiled at me once more. She was gone. I hadn't seen her move. I ambled towards the kitchen, the last room before my front door. At a glance, I saw my phone on the counter, next to her rotting flesh peering through the window. Eyes locked, I slowly made my way towards my only means of help. Every step I took, skin melted from her face, and her smile grew larger. Once I finally reached the counter, she was barely more than bone, chunks of flesh hanging from her haphazardly. I pressed my home button 3 times, a function I'm so thankful I set up. It alerted local authorities and my ICE contacts.
Please let me in.
I wanted to kill myself right there. Her voice gnawed at my innards, sent my heart plummeting to my stomach. Another scream crashed through the house, but this time it was me. She opened her mouth again, laughing, vibrating off my walls and through my spine. It echoed forever, an eternity of torment and plague. Her head smacked into my window again and again, each time her face changing to someone I cared for, breaking their false bodies for her own entertainment. The glass cracked. I could taste death on my tongue. Sirens came from the distance and sent her to a frenzy. Harder and hard, she smashed her head into the window, pleading me to let her in, her voice getting higher and higher. I covered my ears and stared, awaiting my life to end, praying she wouldn't kill me slowly. Her arm was wrenching its way in, the bones scraping against shards of glass. Her smiling eyes bored into me. The sirens were getting closer. Suddenly, she was gone. The police were banging on my door. A relief spread through my body. It was over. They searched the house and my property twice. Nothing was found, of course. I was sent to the hospital and then to a mental health institution. She stares at me through the small glass panel on my door. There's no escaping her here. And everyone else claims they don't see her. Every night, She gets closer, and I'm afraid tonight she may actually come inside.